I had a discussion with somebody, and this person told me that her husband love oral sex.
Right.
You understand? You know, using the mouth to
Pleasure.
play
Pleasure
around
her, yeah.
is it the genital part of
Yeah,
the
the
woman?
genitals.
You understand?
Yes.
Now the question is, the person asked me that is it something she should do? You get? And sincerely from my heart, I only told her that I don't do it. I will not allow my wife to do it. And anybody that will listen to me, I will not that will listen
You
to
should
me.
try it, sir.
Eh?
You should try it.
Wait.
Sorry, go ahead, sir. My bad.
Anybody that will listen to me,
Right.
you understand? I will advise them
Not to.
not to. do it.
Obajana.
You understand? Now,
Babana. Gonna make.
is it true
Yeah.
that there's a bacteria, but though I heard there is a good bacteria
Right.
at that genital part,
Right.
but that bacteria that bacteria is there for a reason.
Right.
You understand? And it's a good bacteria.
Right.
But that bacteria is not good for the mouth.
For the mouth.
What you said
Some
is true.
actually get
Infection.
infection, mouth infection, and all
Yes.
of these things.
So now,
And it led some people to have throat cancer.
for me,
Yes.
you get, when I heard that
Truthfully.
information, I will not
And-
tell you that if you do it is a sin. You understand? Because there is no scriptural
backup.
basis for that.
But it's part of the
You get what I'm
exploring we're
saying?
talking about.
Yeah, now when
Uh,
that's why I tell me, that's why I put a
Yeah,
clause,
don't
there's a
mind me.
caveat.
Yes.
You understand? I said some abuse the body.
Yes.
The mouth is not for that place. You get what
Wow.
I'm saying? It's for the food.
I'm just
Not
knowing.
just food.
Wait now.
For licking of the plates.
You people, they told me they want it raw. Now you are getting it.
So
This is
it's
not
for
my
licking of
place.
plates. When you eat
She
food,
said plate, not place. Licking of plate,
Plate.
not licking of the place.
when you finish eating, right? You don't there are times that we use our tongue to that's why the tongue is
But the tongue. Wait.
Power.
Wait. Anyway, I am not knowledgeable in that
that
aspect.
aspect.
You get
This
what I'm
is
saying?
honesty now.
Yeah, this is honesty.
but there are actually
But you
benefits.
see, what benefits?
There are benefits. I will explain.
Alright, I will not disagree with her. You understand? And I will not agree with her. The reason I will not disagree with her is because she's speaking from a standpoint that is higher than me. Correct? You understand?
Okay, you're not on the mountain now, you're in the valley.
I'm not in the valley.
Hey,
She
wait.
had brought me down to
That's
the
the
valley.
valley.
She's now on the mountain.
Me,
So
I'm not even in the picture.
you can't even see the
I'm
picture
watching
now.
cinema.
You have to watch cinema.
I'm learning.
You have to learn.
And I'm
Because in
unlearning.
the next few months right now, we need to coach
Settle it.
All
tell
right.
you
All
what
right.
and what to do.
All right.
You understand? So now I don't do it.
Right.
You get what I'm
Awesome.
saying? Yes,
Mhm.
I don't do it.
And you don't
I
advise.
think my wife don't like it. Sef.
Right.
You
So,
get but I will not advise. You understand
Right.
that anyone do it. And at the same time, I will not force you not to
not
do
to
it.
do it.
You understand? Now,
Hmm.
don't somebody will say now somebody will be there and say this man of God don't have a base, don't have a base, don't have.
This, yeah, back up.
No. It's not as if I don't have a base. I have a stand. My stand is that me, I will not do it. Just like Joshua say, as for me and my household, we will serve. So that means he will not force you to join him.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Me, I will not do it. You understand? And my wife don't even like it. You get? But
So
Ah,
what about the fingering part?
No, that one is normal. It's normal. It's
Sir,
normal.
he's looking at you.
No,
like,
that one is normal.
have you gone this
In
far?
all, wait, see, the truth is, people don't want to believe you that that you used to be a very bad boy. But I used to be a very bad boy.
Thank God for Christ.
Now.
So
that aspect, I don't want to go there.
you don't.
You understand? But apart from those places, you
Today,
get what I'm
man,
saying?
you've been
Apart from those
placed
things,
on a hot seat.
apart from those things, you understand? yes, I explore
Many
the body.
more.
Now, I want
Yes.
to say this, that most of our visual expectations and longing
Right.
in the context of sexuality and sex was being gotten from the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are some good? Yes. Are some bad? Yes. Those things, I believe, were inspired by perverse mind.
Thank you.
But you see the very normal ones, basic ones, that make sense,
Not the wild ones.
not the wild ones.
But which
Not
one is wild? Which
BDSM.
one is not wild?
Like BDSM is wild.
Which one is BDSM?
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
They don't leave you.
Man of
You
God.
are-
The BDSM,
Wait,
the
man
one
of
that
God, man of
they
God.
chain the
Do you know-
lady.
The chain and the flogging.
The
Parts,
flogging.
yeah.
You see,
He
those
can't
ones.
even fathom it in his mind.
wait.
He doesn't want to go there.
Wait, man of God, don't even. You, Steph, stop talking.
Okay.
You know why I say you should stop talking? Wait now. Wait, this is the reason why I say you should stop talking.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Ahead. So that, because you see, the mind of people that is judgmental in a way.
Wow.
You understand? So as you keep expatiating, many things will begin to go on through their mind. You understand?
But that's why we're bringing a balance.
Wait. Don't
Because if we
expatiate.
hide and they go see
No,
her
no,
for
no, no.
somewhere.
Making no expatiate. You get?
Okay.
Him making no expatiate.
Okay.
You see, anything outside, because that one is not pleasure.
Yeah.
But it brings pleasure to those
some.
perverse guys.
You know, that's why you call
And
it
those
perversion.
perverse ladies.
You see, that for me, do you know what is pleasure? What's pleasure?
Tell me, sir.
Eh?
Tell me, sir. You've been telling me a lot today.
Now, I believe that God has a view of pleasure.
Right.
Because
yeah.
even him too, the Bible says he wants pleasure.
Yeah.
The book of Revelation. For all things were created for his own pleasure. You understand? So he has a view of how he wants pleasure
Right.
to be. You get what I'm saying? So now we are talking to a world of believers.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
I felt that if we are communicating, we must communicate within that context.
Mm.
The reason is because so that
You don't cut it.
there is some, my spirit is telling me that there's somebody over there
So
that is
is
thinking too deep.
Too
You
deep.
understand?
Sir.
so that's why we
The
bring
funniest part is
balance,
most of these
right?
people, they've gone deeper than you think.
Thank
And there are
God.
also still innocent ones that will move. But it's better to communicate in balance so that
Yeah.
they are not in oblivion of these things.
You see that aspect. You see that aspect of sexuality. You understand? For me, it's slavery. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
aspect,
you are right.
they do it even in the old time.
Yeah.
Right.
That's an old time practice
Yes.
that people brings, because that's how they handled slaves.
Right.
Yes.
Do you
Right.
understand?
Yes.
So if
So-
you do that, you are a slave.
That's how they handle
Yes.
slaves.
Yes.
And any man that does that to any lady, you understand?
Right.
What he's doing is that he's practicing
Projecting, yeah.
slavery. Do you understand?
And again, if you are deriving pleasure from it as a lady, you want your man to tie you and do that to you, it means that there is something wrong with your head.
And we cast out that
And
devil.
I
telling you
believe
right
that
now,
is
in the name
those
of Jesus.
thoughts and those instincts are being sponsored by demons.
Yes,
And
exactly.
you might not want to accept that you are demon possessed, but don't worry. When power jam power, you will know. Come
The
for
power is
deliverance.
the power
Come,
You are
is here.
delivered.
just
in
come
the
for
name
You are
of
delivered
deliverance.
in your mind.
In your mind,
Whatever mindset you have, whatever
You are
programming
delivered
you
in
have,
Jesus' name.
spiritually, physically,
In the name
you are
of
delivered
Jesus.
from that in the name of Jesus.
because this is actually, these are demon sponsored inspirations.
ideas, yes.
Ideas.
Mm.
It's not supposed to be seen in a healthy space.
Thank you.
Right.
It's not. Is I sometimes I wonder, how do you people do this? You see the level of perversion, even the one that involves
Cut with blade.
Just imagine, as if you're an athlete.
And you call it pleasure.
And
Haba.
if they don't see blood, they don't feel okay. You are servicing an altar.
That's it.
You are servicing a spirit. That is not how the Lord designed it. The Lord designed sex to be pleasurable without bringing harm.
To be enjoyable.
To be enjoyable. Anything that the only blood is blood from the right channel. But when it's coming out from every other part that is being inflicted by force, or it's not making any sense.
Yeah.
So please, if you are having that and that is your experience, there's going to be someone in the comment section who you will reach out to. We'll drop a number of one of our pastors. They'll pray for you and get you delivered of that spirit. I tell you, you'll be delivered of that spirit.
Yeah.
Except you are the one that doesn't want to get delivered. But moving on, we've actually dwelt on this part, which we haven't exhausted.
Right.
But we will still be going on to talk about...
Before you go, sir, for the married people out there, please, make sure you build intimacy. Intimacy is very important. It will help you to enjoy your marriage, to help you to enjoy your spouse, to help you to bond. It's very important. It's very important.
So I want to ask this question. For people who have had sex before marriage and they've explored so many options, and now they found Christ, and some of them are in marriage, some of them are about to enter into marriage. What is your advice to them? Because some will be going into it having high libido, while some will be going into it because they've been abused and they've now come to hate sex, but they can't avoid marriage because of love and the rest. They are trying to find a new path, and the Lord is helping them. But how do you advise these people in this category? How do you advise them to go about their lives?
All right. I will still love to use the scripture.
Yes.
Again. We read the scripture earlier, 1 Corinthians chapter 7 from verse 1. Paul gave us a blueprint on what we should do. So permit me to just read that scripture. Let me just read it. Now, he said, concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me. So probably maybe they must have written something, you understand, in previous verse as concerning these things we are talking about. It is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife. Let every woman have her own husband. Now say, let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence. You get what I'm saying? So what it means is that for the woman that was abused before, you get, and come to hate sex, in as much as she wants to be married, she must be ready to render due benevolence. She must be ready to forgive the past experience and treat her husband as Christ treat the church. She must be ready to render the due benevolence. You see, you can't take the trauma of your past experience into marriage. I understand that it is difficult. It might be difficult right now for you to, for you to just forget about it and
manage it.
And manage, just for you to just move on. But you just need to move on.
You need to heal.
So that this man will not suffer what he doesn't know, the mistakes of others. You get, so you just have to render unto him. He said, let the husband render unto his wife due benevolence, likewise also the wife unto her husband. So this is very important. He said, wife had no power over her own body, but the husband. Likewise also the husband had not power over his own body, but the wife. Now he said, defraud not ye one another, except it be with consent of time. So this is where communications that we have been talking about comes in. You understand? So for the woman, you have to heal and give your husband the opportunity. Then you discuss. If it's possible, tell him how you were abused and how it has affected your mind so that he will know how to help you. And should, in case you are not yet married but preparing for marriage, you can still communicate it with him since you guys are prepared. Let him know. Then he will know how to help your mind.
And if he doesn't know how to help your mind, he will go seeking for solution.
He will go seeking for solution. It's part of, he will know how to.
Yes.
Whether he does it himself or he seeks for help. This is important. Then for the man that has explored every options, sexual options, and you want to descend on an innocent woman.
Descending.
You want to descend
Now mountain.
on an innocent woman. See, the truth is, you will also need to make sure that whatever you want to do, you don't make it by compulsion.
Yeah.
It has to be with consent. This whole idea of, see, there's in marriage, two cannot work together except there be an agreement. There must be discussion. You must communicate with your woman.
What of the part of threats? Well, not when I mean threats, soft threats like these may be joking. They come for you. Maybe we go marry. You go hear from me. Lawyer no fit save you. All this kind of talk.
You see, that's why the truth is,
Yeah.
the man need to
Tone down.
You know, she made a statement. We operate by the level of information we have access to. You understand? So, and in order to help us also to deteriorate some toxic mentality from our mind, we need another kind of information.
Yeah.
That's why
Correct, that's-
we unlearn the things we've learned before to learn something new.
Yeah.
That is what being born again is all about. You understand? The things you learned before, you unlearn it to learn
to
something.
relearn.
So this is how important it is.
Yeah.
So what if you like, let him explore everything. Let him even explore through the ear. But one thing he's certain is that he will need, in order for him to have companionship, in order for him to have intimacy, in order for love to reign in that marriage, you understand? They must work together. If she doesn't want it, that's where sacrifice comes in. You understand? He must be ready to sacrifice.
But some
get it?
sacrifices, you know, long suffering is in God. It's not. I don't believe I'm supposed to. That sacrifice.
No, you are talking about exploration now. And what? See, the thing is, I know when you talk about exploration,
Yes.
I know you are talking about don't apart from there are
Yes,
other
hard.
things. You understand? Maybe the hard part. You get ahead. I don't know the kind of exploration.
I
you're
never
talking
know.
about. You never know. You
I
get.
think-
But however,
You think?
it has to be. Mama, you are married.
Yes, pretty much.
You are married.
Yes.
There are some things your husband doesn't want, but you want it.
Yes.
You understand?
Mm.
But you know, because you felt that, I should be able to sacrifice for him.
Compromise.
Yeah.
I should be able to compromise for him.
Yes.
You understand? You just be the one to hold your peace.
Right.
That's sacrifice.
Right.
You understand? And
Am I you hold
Yeah.
it forever?
no, no, calm down
No.
now.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
wait.
There's a time when
Yes.
he will get to a point
And he
That
has
he
to
will
also
be the one.
he
compromise.
will be the one
To do
requesting.
it. You get what I'm saying?
Now that I've spoken to him, he has an
Okay.
idea of what his wife wants.
Want
I will give him time
To sacrifice.
to fit
to
in.
fit in, time
and
to
sacrifice.
whatever time he needs to educate his mind to come to
Just
that place where
like
I am.
like during the time when they had that
Yes.
issues,
Now.
and she was not in the mood. In fact, she lost desire for it.
Interest. Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying? But I believe
now-
that he didn't fight her. Did he fight you?
No, he didn't.
Did he say he must get it by
No,
force?
no.
Though they were there, he might be angry.
Yes.
You get what I'm
Yes,
saying? But
yes.
that's part of the sacrifice. You
Right.
need to let you be. Give you
Allow
time
me, yes.
until you are
Right.
healed. But I noticed that you were hitting your hand. What happened?
Yes, I say now.
Hey, God.
We are no longer there.
It's okay.
Aye.
I'm talking too much. Like I'm talking to
Silent.
them. I'm talking to them. You know,
There's time for everything.
man of God did not
Now
expect.
is the time for back to back.
He did
Hot
not
and
expect that I can talk this much.
No, I was expecting it. But you know,
He had it in him. all
he
the
had
time.
it. Mama was prepared to unleash the dragon. And I was, when he was speaking and you did like this. Hey, my God.
Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
good.
Concerning the question you asked, I think I have something to say.
All right.
Right. For that lady or for the man, because it's both ways
Okay.
that have experienced abuse before
Yes.
marriage and it's
Is his own abuse?
yes.
He's abused, though.
There is.
There are some people that
who abused him? Like he
and
explored the
women-
body. Like I don't know.
No,
You
no.
say he explored the body.
No, there are some men.
Men.
who
You say he explored different options.
No, there's the one that explored different. There's one that
There are
had
different
abuse.
No, the lady had an abuse.
Both do
Both.
have
He
abuse.
explored options. Who abused him?
So
I don't
both
know.
of them, both
do you
of
get what I'm
them
saying?
are abused. Like no, for the abuse aspect.
She was abused.
The woman is part
yes,
of it.
is-
The
the
man.
man is part of it.
He abused himself.
No, a woman abused him.
Okay, there was an abuse.
It's possible.
Okay, you
It's
don't know that
possible,
some men
sir.
have
You
been
don't know.
abused. There's some men who were being abused from the age 13, from
Yes.
the age 12.
No. I want to get you correctly.
And
He explored different options.
that one is a different
This
category.
This is Mr. A,
Then
right?
the woman
Explored.
was
Hey.
abused. Is that not what
Wait,
you are
problem.
telling me?
no. So Mr. A and Mr. A and Miss B.
I'm not saying it's
Right?
impossible for a man to be abused.
Yes.
I'm not saying so.
So we're saying there is a two different
They
scenarios.
don't abuse me. They won abuse me. But
Now, and aside that, we are also supposed to know that there are some ladies who they grew up abusing men.
Right.
Then when they come into
marriage.
marriage, and they are now the dominant figure when it
Understand.
comes to the sexual space, then this man too is also a dominant figure. There is this clash.
Right. So what me I want to say, right, is that when it comes to that aspect,
Yeah.
that you are abused sexually, so you already have a painful experience of marriage, maybe rape or something, and you are pressured, you are being pressured to get married, or maybe willingly you decide, okay, you want to marry, right? I would, apart from the fact that I know prayer does a number, right? The word of God does a whole lot in healing you, right? There's a place for seeing a therapist, right? You see a therapist, have a conversation with a therapist or a doctor as well. They are medical, they are medicines, drugs, medicines for this. Yes, to heal those.
To
A
heal
lot
those
of-
things.
Yes, a lot of. That's why they tell you, okay, if you are a victim of RAPE, go to the hospital immediately. Do you understand? There are some tests that can be carried out. There are drugs that you need to take, to flush out whatever needs to flush out and all of those things.
Flush again.
Right. If you have painful sex as well, there are drugs for it. So you want to see a therapist. If you don't have maybe because of finances and everything, you can't see a therapist. You can see a doctor. And they give you medical advice. If possible, see the doctor with your spouse.
Most importantly,
see the doctor with your spouse. Let those conversations be heard while the spouse is there.
Because there are some doctors that does rubbish.
Exactly. Some take
The hand of the
advantage
law will
that.
find you.
Yes, you will find them one after the other.
Yes.
Now, so when the spouse, your partner is there and they are having those conversations, the doctor can recommend some things that you can do at that first instance of your marriage.
Yes, that will help.
Until her mind is transformed again by the renewing of the mind, casting down imaginations and everything that exalts itself above the knowledge of God. So the knowledge of God comes in place too to help you correct those things. That's for those who have explored, who had painful whatever abuse and all of those. Then for that man or for that lady who has, because of peer pressure or because of parental pressure, because there are some of them that went into prostitution because parents put pressure on them to do that. So they didn't willingly, but because they have to meet needs. Go and bring money. Go and do this one. They go and explore, and as a result of those activities, their libido and whatever heightened up. Now, for those set of persons as well that are now born again, two things is very dicey. The man that you are submitting to has to be submitted to somebody. Somebody meaning that he has to be submitted to a higher authority. He has to understand leadership, being a steward, being a servant under God. Because some, when you tell them your past, they use it to fire you in marriage.
Yes.
I picked you from the gutter. I did this, I did that. Is it because? Now they don't see you with that understanding, oh, Christ has forgiven her, she's brand new, she's a new creature. So there are some people that you want to keep your past away from them. So the person that you are even in a relationship with matters.
That's why find better person.
Exactly. So if you are getting married to a man that understands the scripture, understands what forgiveness of sin means, 100%, he won't even, you can even comfortably tell him, see how I was, and this and that, and then you can have a consensus and have.
But not the one now that you are hearing us and in a mail losho, in a mail rubbish. Then you now say you do it to this point. Then you now stop. Then later your husband.
You now come to church and start tying scarf.
God will judge you.
However,
God will judge you.
God will not judge you. However, Christ died for you.
Do you Christ died for you,
right.
But should we continue in sin?
So it's time to stop. So that's the point I'm trying to make.
To stop.
Right.
You know, I research a lot. I watch videos a lot. You hear some people say that they're exploring all options, and when they are ready to get married, they'll settle down, but they don't just want to be left behind. Who they your front?
Right.
With the pace in which you are going now, who is at your front? Because you want to explore everything.
Sure.
You want to. It's bad. It's bad. I'm telling you the truth.
The misuse now
is bad. Then you come to a point where you get into marriage and your expectations are 2,000, and the only thing the guy can deliver is 50. Because he tried to keep himself. He might even have a bad past, but let's say it was something that was curtailed. He didn't go extreme, but you have gone overboard. Buga and Kura no fit bring you. Come back. And now, with the way you are, you can draw that guy into something that maybe at a point in the marriage, you guys separated, then you've already turned him into a beast. And no any other woman can satisfy him. Have you seen how your experiences will damage what the Lord has given to you? Something very precious.
That God has originally made for pleasure.
Thank you. So I will tell you, see, tone down, calm down. Come down from that bike. That you are driving 10,000 miles an hour. Calm down.
There's a lady.
Chioma, hear me, calm down. Jennifer, calm down.
Please join chat. Call chat because
chat
there's no
and Jesus Christ. Lawrence, calm down.
Chat them.
I wanted to say something.
Them Lydias, them.
Please, calm down. It's something that I'm trusting God that you will understand from a point of wisdom.
Right.
So that you both help your spouse and also help yourself.
Right.
Because there is a way it's going to be that you see a lady start disliking her husband because her husband cannot have sex with her for 6 hours. Right. The guy I was with when I was single, when I was prepared, yes, I know I've left their life, but you're supposed to be able to give me like 4 hours. He was giving me 6 hours, but wait, is it government work? It's not government work. So you are supposed to understand that part of cutting down your expectations and actually healing up.
Right.
Yes. Part of healing is you doing away with your excesses.
Right.
You have to do away with your excesses and understand. See, one of the ways you start healing now is totally abstain. Totally abstain. Then trust God as you enter into marriage. You start building a new knowledge. You start building new experiences. And you have to force your mind to take what you get. Since you have explored and you've gone to Damascus and you entered Egypt and you know the River Jordan and you can tell of the dimensions of pleasures that,
Right.
please, you have gotten it. Allow this man to have peace.
I was going to say, allow 2 minutes man to serve God.
To serve God.
Absolutely.
Let him serve God. all these things is not needed.
That's where the place of compromise comes in.
Yes.
You would ensure that when you are coming into this marriage relationship, you are coming with the mindset that, oh, I'm going to compromise and drop from my high horse, whatever it is.
That's where that's why the sacrifice comes in.
Right.
Yeah.
You see, at the end of the day, but the whole thing in marriage, the end point of it is that I will sacrifice a lot.
Yes.
You understand?
Right.
And you will sacrifice a lot. So both of us, we need to sacrifice a lot for each other. For your comfort, I will sacrifice mine.
Yes.
And for mine, you will sacrifice yours.
Exactly.
You understand? For the fact that I love this, you will just need to consent to it. And sometimes I must not expect that you must consent to it. So there are days I need to beat my body and say, no, let me just hold.
So I see this beating of body parts. It will cause problem.
Wait, no,
I'm
we are
going
talking about
and my
sacrifice.
somewhere now. For the place of this beating your body, you will not expect a titled man
That did you too.
will pay money to. He said, okay, as the Pauline ministry that I've been doing, I will not see a dancer. Then after I come pay money, you know, can't tell me say I beat body. Instead of I beat body, I beat bed. So, man of God, not everybody will want to agree with this part of beating the body. But when you talk about, okay, there are other ways in which the lady can understandably come in to help without fully giving it.
How?
Yes. There are ways. There are ways.
Okay.
And we'll be talking about those ways in the next episode.
See, at the end of the day,
is
that you must sacrifice.
Very true.
And she also must sacrifice. Just imagine when you know, sometimes they just fall sick. You understand? And they will not inform your body before they fall sick.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That's the place. That sacrifice.
You must beat your body.
Beat.
If not, what do you want?
Wait till you want to.
We will talk about what we will do in the next episode.
What do you want to, bro? You have to calm down and wait.
You see this issue, we'll fight about it. In the next episode, we are going to be discussing deeply about sex. And by the grace of God, we'll be having Reverend Jide Agbeje, I think in the 4th episode. So just expect it. But in the next episode, you will still be seeing these same faces, talking to you about relationship, talking to you about sex, talking to you about marriage. I don't fully have the authority to speak in this line, even though I'm gradually having the authority. Hallelujah.
Amen.
So we will discuss about it intimately. And please, as you are seeing this video and you are watching to the end, drop all your questions so that they will be answered in the course of this interview. Thank you very much. I remain Lawrence, your host, and this is Marriage, Relationship, and Sex. Thank you very much. Have a blissful day. It's been a blissful day. Have a blissful day.